hello.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hi, and you are?
Kathleen Reddington, and I'm running for Carpinteria City Council.
Well, nice to see you today.
Nice to see you, Larry. Thanks for coming.
Sure. Did you want to start off in your front yard?
Sure, yeah. I have something I wanted to explain to you out here.
Okay.
And this is where my community activism started, in basically my front yard. A few years ago, my neighbor proposed a second story. And I was very concerned as he proposed the second story and the overcrowding in this neighborhood and the fact that our lots are really small. So I went to the ARB and I proposed to the ARB and the Community Development Department of Carpinteria that we adopt some kind of residential guidelines for these kind of renovations and additions. And what happened was, over a process of 2 years, and we had several public meetings and took in public input, and then we went back to the Community Development Department. And over that time, what we did was we developed guidelines so that those who come to the counter at City Hall can receive these guidelines when they want to either do renovations. And these guidelines have been adopted. They're used in the city now, and I'm really quite proud of that. It was a win-win situation. My neighbors got their second story, and our neighborhood got guidelines for design guidelines for the neighborhood. I think that's real important.
Okay, well, very good.
Thank you.
Shall we, how are we going to tour around now?
On my bicycle. I'm a rider, so I'm not going to stop now just because I'm running for city council, and I'm very happy to be riding my bike today. It's a gorgeous Carpinteria day, and I look forward to the rest of our taping.
Okay, well, I'll watch you hop on your bike.
Thank
and,
you.
Follow along.
I got to get my helmet on.
Okay, very good.
Not going to ride without a helmet. So if you don't mind my little Charlie's Angels twirl of my hair here, got to do it.
Now,
So.
for those that don't wear helmets, why is it so important?
Well, your brain's pretty important. It's a terrible thing to lose, and I really respect it. I think it's important for everyone to wear helmets, kids at school and everywhere. I can't tell you how much this helmet protects your life. Okay, Larry, let's go.
Okay, and where are we, Kathleen?
We're in front of the Torrey pine tree. This tree is truly a treasure in our own backyard here in Carpinteria. The tree was brought to Carpinteria in 1888, and it's a very unusual tree and the only one of its kind in the world as large as it is. Most of the time, Torrey pines only grow to be between 14 and 40 feet tall. So this is not only a historic monument, it's a specimen that is world-renowned. When I found out a few years ago, and it's also an example of my community activism, when I found out a few years ago that the Torrey pine property was slated for a very large development, I went door to door and I collected 1,700 signatures. I took those signatures to City Hall, and City Hall accepted the signatures and the City Council, and henceforth the pine stands today without development, overcrowding, and parking lot at its feet. And we're protecting the drip line and doing all we can to keep our Torrey pine one of our treasures and our true treasure by the sea. A tree that is loved and cared for, and I have to say I really love that tree. And I wanted to stay here for a long time so that many, many generations can enjoy and love the tree. Hi, Larry. Here we are on Linden Avenue. I think our city's in the best shape it has been in years. Looks wonderful. I also think it's very important to preserve the local small town atmosphere in our downtown T. As your planning commissioner for the past 3 years, I've voted against any project that I think would not protect or preserve our downtown business environment. I believe that putting a franchise on every corner is not what Carpinteria needs or wants to see. I've worked very hard as a planning commissioner to prevent this. I support the big box ordinance recently passed by the City Council, and I will do my best as your council person to retain the vibrant business climate in our city, our wonderful city of Carpinteria. I can ride faster than a car. Here we are at the beach, the beautiful Carpinteria Beach, the world's safest beach. I have a lot of fond memories. My daughter has taken junior lifeguards here for 2 years. She grew up here as a toddler, and to be honest, I've enjoyed my dream come true living by this beach. And as your city councilwoman, I will protect this beach. I support the specific plan, and I'll do my best to keep Carpinteria, our treasure by the sea, and keep this beach just as beautiful and splendid, and the density that surrounds this beach as low as I possibly can for as long as we can. Here we are at Lavender Court. This is a wonderful opportunity to provide affordable housing for our community. I was not on the Planning Commission that approved this project, and in order to lessen the impact of this project, I would not have approved this project as it is. I believe to make this project more compatible with the community, we needed to, number one, lower the density. Number two, I think the height should have been lowered to reduce the impact in the mountain view here. I think also, as we look at this project, some of the other things that we could have done differently would have been to increase the setbacks from the street and the freeway. I am for affordable housing. However, I think that we have to look at the impact that this kind of housing has on the community before we approve it. As your city councilwoman, I hope to be able to do that. Hi, here we are at Main School. This is what I'd like to call a win-win situation. Recently, a project to provide an umbrella education facility at this site was brought to the Planning Commission by the Carpinteria Unified School District. This was a wonderful project, and as a Planning Commissioner, I agreed that it was a wonderful project. However, the night that we heard this project, several members of the community, in fact, quite a few members of the community and residents of the area came into the council chambers and asked us that we provide the 26 parking places that were required for the education facility that was proposed. I went down on that vote 4-1 as the only planning commissioner voting no on that project. I supported the residents. They produced a petition. They had some very valid reasons for wanting to relieve congestion and overcrowding in their neighborhood. The project was then sent to the City Council on appeal. I was very proud of the City Council, and I'm very happy today that the project, on the appeal, that the Council recommended the original 26 parking places be provided for at this site. The Council then approved the project with the 26 parking places and the neighborhood one and the Carpinteria Unified School District one. We'll have a great education facility, and we won't have overcrowding and parking problems in the neighborhood. That's the kind of leadership I hope to provide to Carpinteria as your city councilwoman. Here we are at the infamous 8th Street footbridge. This bridge, once again, I listened to the people. A few months ago, this bridge was brought to the Planning Commission with the idea of a proposed expansion bridge to replace this bridge. The people brought in, of the area, 1,000 signatures that said, no, this wasn't the right kind of bridge for this creek. I agreed with them. I heard them. And I do believe that even though this bridge has been approved, the expansion bridge, the huge expansion bridge, that it's not the right thing for Carpinteria or for this creek. This is the site I've chosen to talk about the proposed Paradon project. The Paradon project, as proposed and submitted to the city, has 11 Class 1 environmental impacts. As proposed, I could not support this project. These impacts cannot be mitigated. These impacts include the danger of a fire and explosion, air pollution, water contamination, oil spills, disruption of our deer seal rookery, and obstructing coastal views. I would have difficulty supporting this project as proposed. No matter how much money the oil companies promise, they can't buy Carpinteria. As your councilwoman, I will preserve our treasure by the sea, and I am concerned that onshore oil drilling will spoil our wonderful and beautiful quality of life. So Larry, for my last stop, I thought we'd head out to the Bluffs. Here we are at the Bluffs. This is a marvelous example of how our community came together to preserve these bluffs. It is truly unique and wonderful in this time to see these bluffs protected from development. As your councilwoman, I will do my best to listen and lead the people to the future, for future generations of Carpinteria, to preserve our wonderful treasure by the sea. Please vote on November 4th for Kathleen Reddington. Thank you for your support.
Good luck, Kathleen.
Thanks, Larry.